So it will be
We're live with
very
FOREX,
close,
everybody.
but just due to the way
Super
that
excited for this AMA.
liquidity
He's talking
pool
now,
tokens
so I'll shut
are
up.
created, there will be a slight difference. So the way that we're handling that is, if you held 10% of the LP tokens when in your wallet when the contract was paused, and when we unpause it to allow you to credit it, you sent those LP tokens in. When we unpause on Thursday, you'll be able to claim 10% of the V2 LP tokens. So because with the PIGS token itself, it's a one-to-one swap, you'll get a one-to-one swap, token for token. Because LPs work a little bit different, you're still getting a one-to-one swap as far as the percentage of the LP tokens you hold, but because there's a chance that it will be slightly different, say, when we create it, there may be 500 additional LP tokens, just due to the way that LP tokens are created when you add liquidity. All this means is, if you held 10% of the LP tokens when it was paused, you sent them in when we allowed you to interact with the credit contract, you will get 10% of the new LP tokens. So it's a one-to-one swap as far as the value goes, right? And the capital that is actually backed by those LP tokens. Now, if you didn't, as I said, if you didn't have any tokens in your wallet at the time that we paused the PIGS contract, and they were in various contracts, that's where you will be credited when we go live. And this way, this allows for multiple benefits, right? So one of the major benefits is we're not just putting all of these tokens that were locked up or utilized in the ecosystem, and now all of a sudden they're just going to be in people's wallets where they could sell them, they could dump them, they could do whatever with them, right? We are taking the tokens, the V2 PIG tokens, and they will be in the same exact state as the V1 tokens were, as far as how they are interacting with our ecosystem as a whole. If they were locked up before, they will be locked up now. If they were staked before, they will be staked now. If they were in the holder's wallet before, they will be able to be claimed on Thursday, essentially allowing them to be in the user's wallet when we go live on Thursday. So there are a few people that I've seen that have been concerned that we'll go, when we go live, people will have all of a sudden a bunch of PIG tokens in their wallet, and people will have to decide what they want to do with them. Some small percentage, less than 20% of the PIG tokens in circulation in people's wallets. It's actually much less than 20%, but let's just say 20% because I know it's less than 20%. Will actually be in circulation that could affect the market. All of the rest of the PIG tokens are either locked up or staked. The vast majority of them are in the LP. Over 80%. It's something like 85% of the tokens are locked up in LP tokens in the Pigpen, right? Then there's another some large percentage that are in the Pigpen contract, staked. And the reason why they will want to remain in the Pigpen contract is because when we go live with the Pigpen contract, first of all, the time locking mechanism will be set. So if you're in there, your stake will be time locked, just like it was before it was paused, right? And of course, it's a relic, but this is mainly to ensure the security of the protocol, right? So no one can do any kind of flash loan protocol or anything like that because you have no ability to do anything in the Pigpen within one block, right? So you deposit, you can't withdraw within one block, you can't claim within one block. There's a time block there. So when we go live on the Pigpen, not only will there be a time lock, which means that no one in there will, be making any kind of rash, emotional decision there, and also there will be a lot of additional capital in there, because this whole time, while capital has been sitting on the animal farm, we've been earning yield on it through our collateral rehypothecation protocol, lending that capital out to a DEX, right? Earning cake. And this cake will be sold, and we're going to use it for a major Pigpen injection. So the Pigpen, when we go live, will have an additional couple $1 million in there as far as BUSD dividends ready to get paid out to the community. So that's huge, right? That's a major incentive for people to remain in there, because they know if they remain in there, that's millions of dollars that's going to get paid to them, right? And there are a few tweaks that we were able to make just being down and having the ability to launch the contracts, the Pigpen Mastership contract, the Pigs Mastership contract, which includes elements of the Pigpen. I try not to get super tied up in details, because I know the vast majority of people want an overview, and the people that really want to dig into the code can do that. They can dig into the code, but the having the ability to relaunch the Pigs Mastership contract allows us to tweak some things, improve some things, and for one, we were not implementing the tax on dogs. So we had an adjustable tax on dogs, which we've always spoken about. We were not implementing the whole tax that we could have on dogs, right? When we launched with a limit, right, from 6 to 10% tax that can be applied on dogs, and this tax goes to, for one, provide liquidity to dogs, but the majority of that capital associated with the tax goes into the Pigpen. So what we're going to do when we go live is adjust that tax on dogs, which for one will be a disincentive for people to sell it as soon as we go live, and for two, it will migrate even more capital into the Pigpen. So the Pigpen is something that I feel is a very important, integral part of the platform. People that are invested in it understand that this is a protocol that acts as a dividend revenue sharing model, where capital that otherwise would be going to a Defi on any other farm out there, the percentage that we're taking out of deposit fees would traditionally be allocated to developers. We've taken that capital and instead allocated it to the Pigpen. Now, because when you are allocating capital to developers, you want to ensure that this capital is not being used in any kind of not being used for any kind of short-term perspective, right? You want to ensure that developer capital is being utilized as a type of long-term investment success of the protocol. And this is what the Pigpen does. It shares this developer fee with the community, but in a way that enforces a long-term perspective on how you manage this capital that's coming to you from these developer fees. And it does this through time-weighted dividends. What I mean by that is every day that you remain in the Pigpen, your share of what you get paid out increases a little bit relative to the newer people in the Pigpen. And this is made more so if you're taking the pigs that you're earning in the farm and continuing to use them to accumulate rows, and that vault that is being used to accumulate BUSD tokens grows. This is also increasing the percentage that get paid out daily. So the Pigpen is for people that recognize the long-term value of a platform like this and are choosing ownership over short-term reward. Between the piggy bank and the Pigpen, where the people in the piggy bank want that short-term, kind of instant gratification reward model, but we still implemented a mechanic into the piggy bank for people that have a longer time horizon to really take maximal benefit of it, and that's that time locking mechanism. So whether you're in the Pigpen or the piggy bank, you're going to benefit from having a longer time horizon just based on the fundamental mechanics of the protocol. But I would say the Pigpen is for people that understand that when you have a protocol like this, right, when you look at the top, the top, say, 2 or 3% of farms out there, they're still around because they brought something new to the table, and they've been around for years, right? And the people who developed those protocols have made hundreds of millions of dollars in developer fees. We've taken this same earning mechanism that allows you to earn as an owner, and now through the power of DeFi, shared that with the community through the Pigpen. So if you are the type of person that understands the value of being an owner of an innovative technology from the start, from the ground, and continuing to accumulate your share ownership as the protocol develops, the Pigpen is for you. Right? If you also want to have some sort of shorter term play on it, the piggy bank is perfect for that. I would say it's a little bit higher risk, but it also has a higher payout and a faster payout. And
put the number.
I would say kind of the best of both worlds would be time locking in the piggy bank. And the power of time locking in piggy bank is something that no other protocol has offered, because it's giving you a bonus on your principal that you can then earn compound interest on for the life of the stake. And there's no other protocol that gives you that kind of earning power to be able to earn compound interest on essentially not free money, but money that is being allocated to you simply for agreeing to keep your collateral on the contract for a period of time. Right? So if you plan to take full advantage of the contract anyways, and you plan to have that capital on the contract anyways, it is essentially free capital that you're getting, that you're able to earn compound interest in. And there's no other protocol in the space that allows for this kind of mechanic. So it's huge. As I said, somewhere over 90% of the tokens, right? I know it's 82% of the tokens are of the pig tokens are locked up in LP in piggy bank. Then there's essentially the rest of the tokens, right? Like almost all the other tokens are in the Pigpen. There are very, very few pig tokens that were actually in people's wallets. So anybody that has any concerns that this is going to go live and people are going to, all of a sudden have a ton of pigs in their wallet that they're then, may panic sell or try to take a quick profit on and buy lower or whatever the case is. It's just not possible because, as I said, 82% of the tokens are locked. Then the vast majority of the rest of the tokens are in the Pigpen, and the people that are in the Pigpen are in the Pigpen because they believe in the long term of the project and of the protocol. And I know for a fact the whales that are in there are people that are, diehard members of this community. They're people that were in Reap. They're people that were in Drip. They were in Drip Garden. Now they're in Piggy Bank. Now they're in Pigpen. And these are people that became millionaires. The reason why they're whales is because they became millionaires in our protocols. And they understand there's no better place to put your capital, right? So the difference between us and other projects, there's a lot of differences, but I would say the main differences are that we're always sharing any kind of developer fee with the community, right? Any cut that we get as developers always goes back to the community. We're always building as part of a larger ecosystem, which raises all ships so people know if they're invested in one of our protocols and something new comes out, it's always to the benefit of their existing investments. They also understand that we take security and we take protecting investor capital more serious than any other protocol in the space. Right? You can look at all the major farms out there. You can look at every single one of our competitors, and they have all lost investor capital at one point through some sort of major fundamental exploit. Talking about every single farm out there, talking about all of our competitors, right? 100% of the time. I don't know one of them. And that's why there's those memes out there with Doom Guy sitting on top of the pile of dead bodies, shooting all the the people rushing him. And it's, I'm not going to list all the other tokens that we've, buried, but that's why these memes are out there. Now, when we do have, some kind of bump in the road, because when you are doing this kind of innovative development, eventually you are going to run into some bump in the road because you're doing things for the first time and huge amount of testing. We do a huge amount of auditing, but no matter what, nothing is 100% perfect, and you will eventually run into a bump in the road. I've been doing this for a decade, essentially. I started in 2012, right? So with Bitcoin and working with a sports book who wanted to set up a Bitcoin payment portal, right? And I've been involved ever since. And decade that has resulted in the
audio problem.
Hit our bump in the road. I would say this issue with the pig token has been the biggest piece of adversity that we've ever hit. due to the diligence that we put in to our protocol and the backups that we put in place in case something unexpected does happen, you see how that resulted. Something unexpected happened. It resulted in one user getting a large share of the piglets through sniping the contract with a bot. Now, it's very difficult to prevent this. This wasn't actually an exploit, right? This is just someone interacting with the contract in a way that we announced that if you interact with the contract in this way, you will be blacklisted, and the capital that you utilize to do this will be distributed to the community. So, sniping a contract isn't an exploit.
Let's talk about Drip and Animal Farm.
When we hit this piece of adversity, you see what happened. This person got more piglets than they should have, given our essentially terms of service, right? And still, our protocol worked. They were not able to withdraw more than 5x of their deposit. This was a sustainability and security protocol that we put in place, for one, in case something unexpected happened, and for two, to ensure that people are not because they made one deposit on it 2 years ago and they're still draining the system, right? You need to be continually active in the protocol to continue to accumulate your deposits. And this can be it doesn't necessarily need to be doing more deposits. It could be continuing to compound every so often, or even doing referrals. And these referral bonuses count towards increasing your deposit, which allow you to continue to earn in the protocol, very similar to Drip. But when when something unexpected happened, our safety protocols prevented the capital from being drained, prevented investors.
Sorry, guys, it's on their end, the audio.
We protected investor capital. We then paused the pig contract. Now, why did we have a pause in the pig contract? This was because we still have a major part of the protocol that is rewarding people for locking up pig LP tokens and utilizing pig LP tokens. So we knew we were going to be launching a major pig contract, or several major pig. And they could be, something unexpected could happen. So we kept that pause functionality in Pig Token in case something unexpected happened, so we could put the brakes on it, knowing that, all right, if something unexpected happens, they will not be able to withdraw more than 5x their deposit. That gives us at least 24 hours pause the pig's contract and remedy whatever came up, right? So we were not expecting this to happen, but we did the due diligence. So in case something did happen, we had the ability to remedy it without investor capital being lost. Now, what did we learn from this? This is big, right? So we learned many things. First of all, doing a deploying like this, even if it isn't a token, and even if we've launched a similar protocol and we followed the exact same protocol, we followed the exact same launch protocol and all the same launch values as a previous project, which had no issue because it wasn't sniped. We still have to implement a launch protocol, which, even if it is sniped, will not have a major impact on the ecosystem or the protocol itself, because it's essentially impossible to prevent sniping. To prevent sniping, you essentially have to prevent buying. And of course, that's not possible. So your options are coming up with a launch protocol that, even if it does get sniped, it will not have a major impact on the protocol, and that sniper essentially just becomes another investor. And that's what we...
So guys, if you're just joining us, Forex is kind of talking about what happened when they launched the piggy bank and what they've done to kind of fix it. It's kind of developer talk. I know that's not why most of you guys are here. You kind of want to hear what's coming up. April 21st is the launch of the animal farm. We haven't had any new information, but I anticipate he'll talk about scratch-off tickets, so stick around for that. Thanks everybody for liking the video. We'll get it out into the community, and for keeping it professional in the chat. I think in DeFi, it's easy to just be a really hide behind your keyboard type person. Just be kind. You'll be here. I'm excited for Drip and Animal Farm. Let's keep joining Forex. I'm going to go grab something to eat.
Going to have a major impact on the protocol. So that's number one, right? Number two, we put a lot of thought into how can we design both these V2 contracts plus future protocols in a way where, if something unexpected does happen, how can we deal with it in a way that doesn't involve pausing everything? And that has a lot to do with essentially creating
It's their audio, guys. It's not mine, so it'll be like this everywhere you go.
a specific mechanism and still have the rest of the protocol functioning without this mechanism, right? So we've put a lot of thought into that as well. And that will be a part of all of our future protocols, right? So we have what we need as far as a knowledge base and, the tech to deal with situations like this in the future. Now, what have we done as far as making changes on our end? Not just about future development and how we can do actual, coding to help on our team, changes that we made on our team, right? So we made several changes. One of them is that we hired a new dev. We brought a new dev on board who did quality control for years for a major auditing company. And his job is 100% just to do quality control in our work.
This person was hired from Certic. BB has taken time off.
Auditing everything we do. Whenever
It's their audio problem, guys. Nothing I can do. It's on their end.
we run into any kind of I don't want to say problem, but something that we need a solution for during development, he will work on it on his own without any communication with us about it. And then we will compare our work to see if he came to the same solutions as us and why we came to those conclusions. And this is something that I believe is really going to take us to the next level, right? This is something that I don't think there's many other development teams that are doing, right? Essentially hiring a full-time auditor quality control developer. but it's something that with, and the responsibility that I feel for this investor base, right? So, as I said, we've always done due diligence, always, which is why we've never had any kind of fundamental, always improve, and we are always improving. So that's what this is about. We've also adjusted the way that we set deadlines. So you guys may have noticed that I waited until 100% of the work was done, 100% of the development and testing was done to set this date. And I know a lot of people, come on, just tell us when it's going to launch. But for me, it's very important that we wait until 100% of the development is done, because when you are forced with a deadline and you are still doing development, what happens is you end up saving that last thing that you're trying to figure out till the end, because you try to just handle all the low-hanging fruit first. And then you end up with the deadline right around the corner trying to solve some last-minute thing. And that's where errors happen. So we have adjusted the way that we set our deadlines. And what that means is it will not take longer for us to do development, right? We'll still be pumping out development faster than any other dev team in the space, like we've been doing. But we'll just be more accurate and more precise with our deadlines. And instead of saying that we'll be out in 2 months, we'll be out in 1 month, we'll be out in 2 weeks, we'll be out in 1 week, while we do the development, we'll say, our aim is to be out in about 2 months, say, but we will give an official deadline when the work is 100% done. And we'll still get that work out just as fast as we were before, but we will not have a scenario where we feel forced to make a last-minute decision to meet a deadline, because we will wait till the work is 100% done. And that's big, right? So these are changes that were made. Now, we've been grinding for years now. So after Animal Farm was launched, my main partner, BB, right, he was starting to get a bit burnt out. So what I did was I hired an additional developer, right, not including the developer that is only doing quality control, to help kind of pick up that slack, allowing BB to, to have some family time, relax, do his thing. So we're coming into everything with fresh eyes. We are more excited than ever. I've been doing so much networking and so much communication with other development teams, with major platform owners, with marketers, with different VC groups, right, for securing deals and also helping to promote our deals. So I've met more connections and have had more opportunities for us open up in the past month than I ever have since we've launched any of our protocols. So between the development changes we made, between the team adjustments that we made, between the connections that I've made and the networking that we've been able to do in the past month, and then looking at our numbers, right? When I make a post on the call channel, when I make a tweet, we're bigger than ever. We're more bullish than ever. We have more opportunities than ever. I have more development ideas than ever. There are so many things I want to build. And everything that I want to build at this point does not involve creating additional tokens. Right? They all involve creating new utility.
What about stablecoin?
New use cases, new contracts that support our existing
Let's
tokens.
go. That's the
right?
bullish thing
And when
right
I say
there.
this, I'm talking about bridges.
Tweet that crap.
I'm talking about
that's good,
the
guys.
scratch ticket model that is amazing that I'll talk about in a bit. I'm talking about making improvements to our decks on the drip site, team competitions, new UI, lending protocols, various partnerships, working with other development teams that may be creating an additional token, but this token essentially acts as a vehicle to drive capital into our existing tokens. So, we are in a better place than ever. And of course, there are people out there that will not be happy, right? That we hit this bump in the road, and I would never call it a small bump in the road. Whenever you have a situation like this, right? I take it very serious, and I take full responsibility for it. And when I say I take full responsibility for it, I don't mean I beat myself up about it. I mean that we make the adjustments to improve and ensure this never happens again. We look at what we did that was good, and we look at what we could have improved on. What we did that was good, when we came into something unexpected, when we hit that bump in the road, we weren't able to protect investor capital. What we can improve on, first of all, we can make improvements to ensure that this never happens again. We can make improvements to ensure technology, and we are doing things for the first time. That, like always, we protect investor capital, but also we don't have to pause the protocol. We can quarantine whatever the issue is, deal with it in a way that's fast and does not affect all of the holders, right? So, and the list of other things that I've already named. I don't want to repeat myself here because I want to make this as succinct as possible. So I'm going to get to questions about the piggy bank and Pigpen. I'm going to see if there's any in Twitter, and then what I'll do is go into some of the things we have coming up for Drip, some of the things that we have coming up for Animal Farm, and as far as future development, and essentially everything we have on the roadmap for Drip, and all the exciting things we have as far as promotion, marketing, partnerships. Then I will see if there were any more questions that were written while I do that, and then we'll just open it up all the way. So let me look right now on Twitter, see if I can pull up some questions here. Okay, so I'm going to go to the first one that I wrote 2 days ago. Lots of people very bullish. Just researching how many developers are on the Drip Team project. Okay, so right now we have 2 main developers, not including myself, and then we have someone doing quality control. So we have myself, my partner BB, someone named Sans that we brought onto the table, and then we have an additional developer that we brought up just for quality control, who isn't actually his focus is not at all developing the protocol. His focus is just 100% on checking work and doing quality control. So, but then, when you say the drip project team, I don't want to just include those people, because we have guys like Bartertown, we have guys like Angel, right? We have guys like Drip Ninja, we have guys like On, essential parts of the team, right? So
that's right.
Without them, we would not be what we are. So they are 100% part of the team.
That's right.
And then when you say the drip project, I take no developer fee out of drip. So these people are, I would say, just as important to the project. They are essential to the project, and most of them have made more from the project. Well, certainly more than I have, and I'm sure more than BB and some of the other people. I'm not the kind of person that's watching other people's funds and seeing what they're doing with their money. Like, everybody can do whatever they want with their own money, and I watch my own money. Apart from specific agreements I have with my developers about what they're allowed to do. They're not allowed to, buy up huge amounts of the token and do swing trading or anything like that. But other than that, I'm not watching other people's funds. But I know, just because I know how much I've made off of drip, very little, like less than $100,000, because I don't take a developer fee and I don't trade it either, because I feel like I have an unfair advantage having insider information, and it just wouldn't be right for me to be trading it. So I know that the majority of these people have made a lot more capital than me on drip. So they're essential to the project. They've made more in drip than even the core dev teams, and they've contributed so much to drip. So the team is large, but when you talk about core developers, essentially there's three of us. Two of us, me and BB, built drip, but we've added to the team since then, and these people that we've added have helped. Okay. So a lot of these questions are about drip, but I'm just gonna get to them now while we're going over questions.
Here we go.
What would it take to create an international payment system / card using drip? Service of a company such as MoonPay or another one.
Another one bites the dust. Still waiting, guys. It's their audio problem.
Whose name is slipping my mind. And the fact is that some of these companies, such as the one that's slipping my mind right now, but I'm going to look it up. I'm going to take a note right now, actually, to look up the name of it, because I need to check on the status of the application that I submitted to them. Some of these services are servicing tokens that are significantly smaller than us, right? Have less liquidity, less volume, less investors, and they're servicing a fiat on-ramp for them, utilizing debit cards, right? So they essentially work as debit cards for those tokens, and all it takes is for one of these services to start servicing us. Now, I've already applied to one of them. I applied to this service right before we had to pause Piggy Bank, and my full attention has been on Piggy Bank and getting Pig's V2 token launched so we can continue to move forward. So I have not yet checked the status of this application, but there's a high probability that we will get approved for this application, because I know that the service is servicing other projects that are much less developed than ours. Then there's MoonPay. Now, I haven't applied to MoonPay yet. The reason why I haven't applied to MoonPay yet is because I know someone who was a major private investor in MoonPay. I'm not talking about in a token or anything. I'm talking about in traditional markets. he's a major venture capitalist that with that company. And my plan with him is to network with him and get someone behind the scenes pulling for us. So when I do submit that application, it's fast tracked for us. And this specifically, this fiat on ramp through debit and credit cards is something I was heavily focused on right before the piggy bank thing, and I completely put that on getting piggy bank up and running. Now that 100% of the development is done with piggy bank, my full responsibility and what my resources are going to be fully allocated to are promoting Animal Farm, promoting piggy bank, promoting drip, and networking to set up these kinds of this kind of infrastructure for drip. Right, that's what my full focus is on. And I'm very excited about that because we were on the brink of some very major progressions for drip and for our other protocols, but specifically for drip, before I had to put it on the sidelines to deal with piggy bank. And now,
Guys, it's their audio problem.
To pick them back up and put them back on the table. So I'm very excited to get back to that because there are some major progressions that we can make there. And I just so you know, I'm taking notes as I read these questions, just to just for my own reminder of things that I want to do as soon as I get off this call. So okay, let me go to. Okay, did the pause scare away any potential partnerships? I would say the opposite. We've had more people coming to us for partnerships and more people ready to work with us than ever.
I am ready to work with you,
and
FOREX.
I think this is twofold, right?
What are we going to do?
It's because other developers know the space, they understand the technology, they know what happened, and they understand what happened, right? And they understand that although it was, a big thing for the community, of course, in the big picture, when something unexpected happened, we handled it with the utmost professionalism and in a way that you won't see with any other developer team. When these other projects have something unexpected happen, they get drained. Like, they're gone. And you never hear from those devs again. Or worse, they're using an alt or, trying to get people to get into the next thing, which, without making any improvements, and it happens over and over and over.
I know most of you guys are bored, so I'm going to say hello. Some of you are going to be like, put him back on. I will in 20 seconds. Welcome to my channel. My name is Jonathan. I'm a dumb YouTuber. I try to cover my little journey in DeFi. And this is FOREX. He is covering the relaunch of the Animal Farm and Piggy Bank, which comes up April 21st, which I won't even be around for. But whatever. Welcome to listening to FOREX. He does talk a lot. I really want him to just get to the point because it is Good Friday. We all have a million things to do. So we're going to wait. The man is going to do how he does it. So we just got to be patient. And thank you for the 342 people that are watching this. That's probably the biggest live stream in the drip community. And I started late and it's not even a good live stream. All right. The audio probably sucks. So thank you for liking the video. And let's keep it being kind in the comments. It's easy to be a hero in the comments and be like, Forex did this. Bank teller's better than this. Like, who cares? I have zero interest in the drama of playing sides. I'm here to make money, and so are you. If you want to get in days of our lives crap about every little, do it somewhere else. I don't care. All right, I love you guys. Here we go.
Not seen any proposals coming by to
Okay.
vote for in the Pigpen. So are there any ideas that may come by as a proposal to vote in the near future? That's a great question.
Yeah, there are. So there are several partners that want to have potential partnerships up for a proposal, and there will be a vote on that. I would say that's the main thing on the table for proposals right now, right? Now, of course, the reason why you haven't seen any proposals is because we've been paused for the past month and a half working on Piggy Bank. If we had not been focused on that, we would have already had several partnerships, up for vote with proposals on the animal farm. So that is the governance protocol is a major part of Animal Farm. The owners of Animal Farm are the people in the pig pen, and any kind of major addition to the Animal Farm will be up for vote, and it will be up for vote based on these proposals. I should also say that or on the Animal Farm, there is a way that you can fill out an application. And this application is if you are either a developer that wants to work for us, you're a potential partner that wants to partner with us. You can also utilize this submission mechanism to submit proposals that you would like to see go up for vote, right? And we are more than happy to accept these proposals and put them in front of the community. So please, if you have, it will really be something that the community will love, and it will benefit everyone and incentivize more capital to come on. Submit a potential proposal to us, and we will review it, and we will get it up for vote in front of the community. Now, there's a ton of different things that I want to do with Animal Farm, but my plan is to kind of take one thing at a time, and the obvious next move on the Animal Farm is partnership vaults. So, like as I said, any major addition to the Animal Farm will require a vote from those in the pig pen, and this will be the next major addition to the Animal Farm. So that will be up for vote. So the proposal will be put forward in front of the community. Those in the pig pen will get a vote for every pig that they have in the pig pen, and we'll be able to decide which partners get their spot on the vault, which partners get a vault on Animal Farm. Of course, we're going to do our own internal filtering of potential partners as well to ensure that they're high quality, their logic makes sense, and it all fits into place. And assuming all of those things fit into place, which there are several development teams that have created projects that they want to partner and have vaults on the Animal Farm that are quality, that do meet the requirements. So this is something that all right, so in the next month, there are two major things that I want to see happen for Animal Farm and for Drip, right? For Drip, I want to see the major new UI update push, right? That's done. Right. The things that we need to do for that are collect testimonials, because our new UI model is, I think, the best UI in DeFi. And the reason why I would say our new UI that we're going to push is the best model in DeFi is because we didn't look to DeFi to decide what our template would be. Right? We looked
Charles
towards
Schwab.
traditional market, specifically major retail investment banks, and we looked at what they're doing to get users to their site
Charles Schwab.
and what they're doing to get users to use their products once they're on their site. And these major retail investment banks are investing billions of dollars every year in customer research and customer analytics to determine what changes they can make to their front end, their website.
So here's where Forex is making an assumption. I don't think it's the wrong assumption, but he's saying that the same demographic that goes to Charles Schwab is the same demographic that brings their capital into crypto. That is yet to be proven, in my opinion, but it's okay. I don't mind sites like hex.com. Like the Drip website does look a little like, hey, look at waters and stuff. I think professional will look good. Then people will be more proud to invite their friends to it. At least whales that have money, because, all right, shut up.
With that first visit, the probability that there'll be a long-term customer in your protocol goes way, way, way up. So we looked at a ton of various investment bank models they're using. We decided to go with
Charles Schwab.
Essentially the model that Charles Schwab uses.
Oh!
And they have
Just
their
kidding.
partners right on the front page.
I
They have
act
their
like I know. I heard
testimonials
him
right
say
on
that
the front
before.
page. They make it very clear products, very clean explanations of all of their products on the site.
Look at
It
this.
looks very clean. And I've posted a preview of what our site looks like.
Look at.
Also,
Long
they
time
put a
ago.
lot of work into search engine optimization. And a lot of what goes into search engine optimization has to do with the way your website is structured.
Look at this, guys.
Having certain keywords in your titles.
2 months ago.
Specific websites that are considered high value websites linked on your site. Have as many large outsourcing links on your site. And various other you could call them tricks, or you could call them strategies that are used in the development of a front end to ensure that you're hitting the top of all the search list. So right now, with essentially no search engine optimization, because we essentially used a template which is popular in DeFi to set up our front end, we're listing very high on Google. If you type Drip on Google, we're listing pretty high. But there's no reason why we shouldn't be listed number one. And I don't want to just be listed number one when someone types Bitcoin, when someone types, DeFi. I want to be at the top. So we put a ton of work. And not only did we do this in-house, I hired a development team that specifically builds websites for these major multinational companies. And that's their main job, is building websites, search engine optimization, and maintaining websites for major investment banks. So I spent a lot of time, researching, figure out who is building these websites.
Nice.
And how can I hire them, essentially.
Nice.
And we did. We hired them. I already paid for the work to be done. The work is done. The website is built. The only thing that we need to do is team competitions, which is something I've wanted to do since launch, but it required a major front end update to do that. And since I wasn't really happy with our front end anyways, I didn't feel it projects the kind of value that we're providing in our contracts.
Beautifully said.
I wanted to do it all at once, right? I wanted to wait until we could do a major UI update,
it doesn't
redo the
project
whole
the
UI,
value.
and since it requires redoing the UI to make a change to the way that the team infrastructure works, I wanted to handle it all at once. So the website is built. What we need to do is collect as many testimonials as possible. That way we can filter the best ones, right? And we'll have all of them up there, but we want to have the best ones on the front page, of course. And we
That's his audio problem. Oh, it's 2022.
Okay, I'm back.
We still don't have audio fixed.
Not only are we updating, so all right. So where I was collecting the testimonials. So we need to collect as many testimonials as we can, and we already have CryptoWorks, who is a team leader on Drip, collecting testimonials, and he's been collecting them for the past. All right. More focused on that over this next month. So when we go live, the plan is to push this UI next month. We'll have all the testimonials ready on the site. We need to and we need to make the adjustments that we want to make to the team system. So that's ready to go for the new UI as well. And the changes we're making to the team system have nothing to do with the structure of your team. So this is the structure of everybody's team is immutable. That's handled by the smart contracts, right? So all that's immutable, none of that changes. What's going to change is the efficiency of airdropping. So instead of having to do a million different clicks and making it, it's kind of a pain in the butt plus a little confusing to use the team airdrop system. We're going to make it way more simple and way more efficient. So you just click a couple buttons and it does the airdrop to the people you want to airdrop on your team, given the filters that you set. We're also going to implement team competitions. And this is something that I've wanted to do since day one. And we baked in the ability to do it since day one. But as I said, it required an update to the front end to be able to do it. And if we were going to update the website, the front end, I wanted to do the full update. So this is our opportunity now to implement these things that I've wanted to do since day one. So the team competitions allow for bi-weekly competitions where we set a goal, and the goal will be, for example, whoever does the most direct referrals that month, or whoever does the most referrals as a whole, whoever grows their team as a whole that month, or whatever team does the most capital deposits that month, or whatever team is the most net positive that month, whatever team does the most posts on a given social media using this given hashtag this month, etc., etc. And these are goals that help build up the whole platform and benefit everybody. And the winner of these competitions now get airdrop drip from the dev wallet to the team leader, and the team leader then gets to decide how he wants to airdrop these rewards to his team. And I will suggest that they airdrop it in a way that benefits the people that help win that competition. So, for example, if the competition is whoever does the most direct referrals that week, before the competition starts, a team leader could say, hey, we're going to try to win this thing. We have the ability to win it. So what we're going to do is, if we win, whoever does at least 3 direct referrals will get their share of the reward if we win, of the prize. And this prize is not coming from an inflation of drip, right? It's paying for itself because it's coming from drip that is going to the dev wallet, which currently is being sent to the vault and previously was being sent to a burn address. So I initially was sending it to a burn address because I just wanted to give surety to the investor base that there isn't some huge pile of drip just accumulating that, you know, someone could interact with or put onto the market, whatever. So I was just sending it all to a burn address. And then I gave it a bit of thought and determined that, you know, it's a bit of a waste to be sending it to a burn address where we could send it to the vault, and that would just allow even more sustainability as far as our dividend model. So then I started sending it to the vault. And in the future, when we have these team competitions, some of it will be sent to the vault, and some of it will be used as prizes for these team competitions. Right? So these are major, exciting updates that are coming to Drip within the next month, right? So I don't think people realize how bullish and how important it is to have a high-end UI, because it's not just about it'll be more efficient, it'll be smoother, it'll be easier to use, it'll be better to use, be nicer to look at. But what's really important is it will make us appear higher on lists when people are searching DeFi, when people are searching crypto. And also, it will help hook in those new users when they make that initial visit to the website, and it will really bump up our numbers as far as the turnover. People visiting the site and actually engaging them when they visit the site. So that's huge. We have a ton of other things going on with Drip, right? As far as multiple smaller dev teams building projects for Drip that utilize Drip, that buy Drip, send Drip to the tax vault, use Drip for NFT sales. One of these platforms has deals with multiple, over a dozen celebrities. Last time I checked, which was about a month ago, because I've been hyper-focused on Piggy Bank, selling NFTs in Drip. Then these Drip get sent to the vault. They're just starting to really break through and really start to establish these deals. But there's a ton on the table now as far as securing celebrity deals for both NFTs and promotion. Things that were on the table, right, a month ago, but got put on the sidelines so I could hyper focus on Piggy Bank, are now back on the table. So this is massive, right? Now, there's a bunch of other things that I want to talk to, but let me get to a few more of these questions here. All right. So says the Piggy Bank mechanism looks similar to ones in the Drip Garden. We've seen decay in the price of seeds in this case truffles, which are seeds in Drip Garden, similar, not exactly the same, but the same, are purposely decaying in value, if that's what you want to call it, right? That's not the word I would use, but they are purposely being diluted because this is the mechanism that ensures that this is one of the mechanisms that ensures that if you are compounding, you will and this is all relative to other users in the protocol. So if you are compounding at a rate that is greater than the average user in the protocol, you will keep your ROI at around 3%. Now, and this is because you're taking these truffles or seeds that are accumulating, buying piglets with them, which in turn allows you to create a greater volume of seeds or a greater volume of truffles. And this ensures that you're able to stay ahead of the decay curve, if that's what you want to call it, or the dilution curve, if that's what you want to call it. And if you're staying ahead of this curve, then you're going to keep your ROI at around 3%. And this creates a value transfer for people that are just draining the system to people that are compounding in the system. And this is a very important mechanism in the protocol, which ensures that it does not matter when you enter either the piggy bank or the drip garden as far as what your ROI is in the protocol. Okay? So whether you enter in you can make up to 3% ROI on this protocol if you are frequently compounding. What the bonus or benefit is to getting in early is that when you are in a system where you are earning compound interest, time becomes a very powerful lever that you can use to your advantage to accumulate your share of the liquidity pool, essentially on the contract, and your ability to earn in the system. So the sooner you buy into the protocol, the more you can let compound interest work in your favor. But if you do not continue to compound in the protocol, eventually your ROI will start to reduce. And this is largely due to two mechanics. One mechanic, which essentially limits the amount that you can ROI based on your balance, and the mechanic that you spoke to here, which is the constant dilution of the truffle supply, which creates a value transfer from those who are just leeching the protocol to those who are compounding frequently. Now, the piggy bank puts a much larger emphasis on it with its time locking bonus. And this gives even more incentive to getting in early and staying in longer, because you're earning a bonus for agreeing to keep in. The sooner that period of time will resolve itself, or you'll hit that goal that you set as far as your time lock relative to other users in the system. And the longer or the more advantage you'll have to be able to earn compound interest relative to the other users of the system. So the great thing about, I would say, especially piggy bank, is what is important are your actions in the system, less so than anything else. If you're compounding more than other users of the protocol, you will be earning more than other users of the protocol, regardless of when you got in. Now, with all things equal to that got in earlier, will have even more advantage because they've been compounding the system earlier. So it's truly a fair protocol. And the reason why I like to call it a game, even though it's not a traditional game, how normal people would look at a game, but for me, the game theory is similar to a game, because the actions that you take are and the result that you see from them are completely relative to the other players or the other participants in the protocol. That's something that's relatively unique here, and also just extremely fair, right? Because it's not like other systems where you deposit and you might deposit 6 months from now, and because you deposited 6 months after someone, you don't have the ability to earn an ROI anymore. Your ability to earn an ROI is very small. In our case, you can deposit 6 months from now, and as long as it's someone that deposited yesterday, for example. So, all right, I got another question here. Okay, and I should also say that this element is not relative at all to the price of pigs, or it's what it's determining is your percent ROI of your deposit relative to other players in the protocol and the capital in the contract itself. So, okay, let me go to one of the other tweets, see if I can get some more questions here. Okay, so someone is saying they used their referral code of a YouTuber and it didn't work. Any chance we could resolve, right? When you just can't immediately withdraw referral bonuses. So here's how it works. And I spoke about this a bit yesterday, but I want to be even more clear because I think I could have been a little bit more clear about it when I spoke to this yesterday. When you refer somebody, this referral gets credit to you in the form of truffles on your zero stake, which means the initial stake. It gets credited to you in your truffles balance. You can only withdraw from your truffles balance 5x your deposit. So you can only withdraw at max 5x your current deposit. And of course, as you compound, as you earn referral bonuses, as you earn gifts, as you earn in the system, your deposit increases. So as long as you're active in the protocol, you never have to hit this limit. It's more of a sustainability security mechanism, similar to the max payout in DRIP. But when you get credited with these truffles, if you do not already have a stake, but someone used your referral link, which is something that's going to be very rare, right? This is a very rare edge case that really would only happen if, say, a YouTuber was sharing their link before the site went live, and then people just beat them to the punch using their edge case. That only will happen around launch time, and it will not be something that people will be dealing with in the future. But if somebody uses your referral link and you don't have a stake yet, those truffles got credited to what is called your zero stake, your initial stake, which doesn't exist yet, which means since there's a mechanism that only allows you to withdraw at most 5x of your current deposit balance, you cannot immediately withdraw these truffles. And we did this on purpose because we didn't want to allow people, because if you were able to do that, people could have just set up multiple wallets and self-referred and earned from it, right? So we couldn't allow it for that reason. But also, we wanted to ensure that someone who wasn't actually an active participant in the platform couldn't just spam his link all over the place, get a bunch of people to click on it, and then use that as a mechanism to drain the system without contributing to it. So when you get a referral bonus, if you don't have a stake at all in the system, you need to compound that referral bonus. You need to compound those truffles into piglets. Then you have those piglets. This counts as your deposit. And now you can start earning truffles off those piglets, which you can claim or compound or do whatever you want to do. So the people who were thinking, right, if anybody that thought that they got referrals that they weren't able to access or whatever the case may be, that wasn't an issue with the protocol. That was maybe a misunderstanding of how the protocol compound. You have to compound the referral bonus if you don't have a stake yet to actually access that and to be able to benefit from it. And this is specifically so people cannot just drain the system without contributing to it. So that's that. And I see someone asked that question twice. So okay. I'm just reading some potential questions. A bounty program? Well, we have been approached before by people who say that we found this or we found that, and we're willing to accept payment for this or that. And every single time, it's been them not understanding the protocol. It, of course, was a nothing burger. or else we'd all know about it, right? So, I think people are clever, and they know that if they do find some sort of issue, they have two options. One of it is to disclose it to the team, and really the other option is to try to take advantage of it yourself. Anybody who is skilled enough to do that already knows these are their options, and really we just we put a lot of work into ensuring that we are secure, so these things never come up. I'll put some thought into that, right? That's a decent thought. That's something to give thought to. But I think that these are kind of things that are given to people that are in the development space. They know their options. They know that if they find something, do whatever they're going to do. So I'll think about it. All right, for an unlocked piggy bank stake, if we can withdraw 3% a day up to 5x time lock, why time lock? Okay. Why you would time lock? All right, so let me just, if you could earn up to 3% a day, if you could earn up to 3% a day, up to 5x your deposit, you would time lock, because you can earn a significant you could earn a significant bonus on your deposit, right, on your starting principal for time locking, and then earn compound interest on this starting initial capital. So if you're earning 3% compound interest, right, that's very powerful. And if you can increase your starting capital that you're able to earn.
Audio issues, guys. Not on my end.
It makes a huge difference, right? And you see this on the percentages in the dashboard that it shows you if you decide to time block. And we're talking huge, right? We're talking about thousands of percents difference, right? Tens of multiples difference for time blocking. And if you already plan on keeping your capital in there for a period of time without claiming, because you want to earn compound interest, say your plan is, oh, well, I want to put my principal in here, compound for the next year, really grow up my share, or the next 6 months, the next month, whatever your time frame is, really compound in this period of time to really build up my position, and then structure some sort of strategy where I'm compounding every 3 times and claiming every 4th time or something like this. Then during that month or that year or that 5-year period where you already had the plan that you were going to be compounding your principal, you could just time lock it, right? You could just make the agreement that you will do that and now earn thousands of percentages more in ROI. And making this commitment to withstand from claiming and only compounding for a period of time also helps the sustainability of the protocol. So it plays 2 roles, right? It results in a more sustainable protocol plus higher ROI to those who make this commitment. And where is this higher ROI coming from? It's not coming from inflation. It's coming from a value transfer from those who are just leeching the system and not making this commitment. So there is a major value transfer here that is being powered by compound interest, and this value transfer is being made from those who are not making time commitments to those who are making time commitments. So this is why you would do this. And then what is the plans to increase the divs payout of the Pigpen? And I already touched on this a bit, but we have a range as far as the tax that we can put on the dog token. And almost 100% of this tax goes towards the Pigpen dividends in the form of BUSD. None of it goes to a Defi, right? Or when I say Defi, I mean PegMe or anyone else, right? 100% of it goes to the community, whether it's in the form of adding additional liquidity to the dogs token or payouts to the Pigpen in the form of BUSD. Now, from this collateral rehypothecation that we've been earning on the animal farm, I haven't tapped into that capital at all. And that's millions of dollars, right? I wanted to get past the launch phase and the phase where we have that first major cycle of people that are coming in just for the quick flip and really, purge those weak hands before I start putting these millions of dollars that we're earning in collateral rehypothecation to work. And where I see it best being put to work is in the Pigpen. Because when you already have a liquidity pool of $30 million in pigs, for example, buybacks do work, and we will do some buybacks, but there's only so much impact you could have when you're buying into such a deep liquidity pool. But you can create the same value for pigs and get even more bang for your buck by taking that BUSD and putting it into the Pigpen
account
and now paying it out in the form of BUSD to people who are agreeing to put aside the pigs that they're earning for a share ownership of the developer fees or deposit fees, whatever you want to call them, put to work. There's the flexibility of the dog tax, which is at the lowest setting right now, which we have the ability to adjust. And then there's the partnership vaults and other development that are in the process right now of being ready to be put to launch, which give more use cases, more utility to the PIG token and locking it up and creating additional cash flows for the PIG token, including into the Pigpen. So the Pigpen, as someone in the Pigpen, you represent an owner of the platform. And owners of the platform, owners of any kind of company or major project, they don't expect to, 100x their capital in the first week and then pump and dump it, right? We're in this for the long term, and the protocol is designed to pay out over the long term, with payouts increasing the longer you stay in. Almost like a developer or team vesting option, where you're getting paid your share profit from the platform through a type of time-weighting vested model, essentially. And this is to ensure that people aren't just buying the PIG token for a quick pump and dump, and the people that are getting it are in it for the long term. And if you do want a shorter term play on it, that's what the piggy bank is for. But still, even the piggy bank has this time locking mechanism to ensure that the people who are benefiting the most from that are those who have a longer term perspective on it. But you still do have the shorter term play on it if that's what you choose to do. And it was not operational long enough to see that power play out into the price of pigs. And in fact, due to the unexpected kind of bump in the road, we didn't see the true power of the piggy bank have its effect on the price of pigs, but we will. Following Thursday, when the piggy bank is, operating as designed, fully functional, providing that value and really just killing it, because I know it will, because it has that market fit and it's filling that demand that we know people want. So it's very exciting. Thank you for your questions. Those are good questions. So far, they've all been good questions. Okay, I'm not going to answer questions that I've already answered, even if they're asked slightly different. It's okay. How many drip do I hold personally? When I initially
that's a good question.
Did the drip raise, I had two people reach out to me and ask me if I could get, they were on vacation, and they asked me, hey, I want to get into the pre-sale. Can you do me a favor and buy me a pre-sale spot? And I did that for 2 people. So those 2 people, for whatever reason, probably they were going to flake in the first place, and that's why they just weren't there on time. But for whatever reason, they never came and claimed those drip for me. So
RIP to those
one
guys.
of those pre-sale allocations I distributed. Yeah, I know. Man, they're kicking themselves. But so one of those allocations I gave very early on to the core teams, the major teams that first established themselves in drip, right? Guys like Black Sheep, Bartertown, Stunner, Crypto Winner Circle, Moonshot Hunters, trying to think of 3D Crypto, I think maybe Odds Group. Trying to think if there was anyone else.
Right?
But anyways, I took one of those pre-sale allocations, and I Dog Pound, yep, Thomas Dog Pound, and I distributed those to those team leaders, who then distributed them to the community. The other one, the other allocation that I got, I think I might have sold some of them OTC to a VC owner that wanted to get invested, that also bought some REIT. Essentially accounts to top. We had ETH payouts to the top liquidity providers of REIT, right? And we did this through a type of OTC sale. But this is like a long time ago, like 2 years ago. But anyways, this VC owner, he holds 100% of those REIT to this day. So he bought those REIT OTC. He's held them for 2 years. Didn't touch them. And he's the type of guy that, as long as he continues to see progress, he will continue to hold those tokens. And he has hundreds of millions of dollars. I know wallets of his that are just holding ETH that have $50 million worth of ETH in them, just sitting there, just ETH. So I believe I sold a portion of that other allocation to him, knowing that he would be a long-term holder, and that would be a good place to offload them. And other than that, that's it. I don't buy drip. Any drip that goes to the dev wallet gets sent to the Faucet tax pool. So it doesn't get sent to the Faucet tax pool in the form of a stake that I create. I'm not, compounding, creating a stake. I'm physically sending it, or not physically, digitally, obviously, but it's kind of a turn of phrase. But I'm sending it to the actual vault address itself, not interacting through the contract. This way, it's not part of an accumulating dev stake. It's just getting sent to the tax vault, which then anybody can, if you send drip to the tax vault address, it just increases the balance of the vault. And now when anybody claims from the faucet, the drip that they're claiming is coming from that tax vault. So it's not, if you just send it to that address, it doesn't get assigned to anyone's stake, but it's still available to anybody when they make a withdrawal. So that's what I've been doing with any drip. And I learned this back when I launched Reap, right? Because I was so excited about Reap, so excited to finally do a token of my own, that I was just buying every dip. And I bought like $50,000 of my own token. And then I realized, I'm never going to sell this thing. Why am I buying it? I'm essentially just donating a bunch of capital to the liquidity pool that I'm never going to access again. And I have pretty strong feelings about that because I feel like I have essentially insider information that would give me an unfair advantage. And sure, there aren't exactly insider trading laws in DeFi, but I feel like markets have their own mechanisms that don't prevent insider trading, but discourage it. And you know, it discourages it through regular market dynamics. For example, if I was to buy a bunch of drip every time before I make some big announcement, then I make the announcement, it cause all kinds of excitement, the price of drip goes up, and then I sell. People are going to eventually say, hey, something's going up here. Something's going on here. Every time before he makes an announcement, the price, does a huge pump, and then the same address or whatever, it doesn't even have to be the same address, but you see what I'm saying. The price goes way up. Only him or some insider would know that this is going to happen, and then they sell it right after the announcement is made. People eventually catch on to this, and these market dynamics should, in a fair market, prevent insider trading. If you have a knowledgeable investor base and, there isn't a greater pool being created every day and all these things, which there are, and unfortunately a lot of investor bases are not educated, so you still have people running these kinds of games on their community. But that's where morals kick in, where I think people that have been following my work for a long time know that I take my moral obligations seriously. And I believe that in the big picture, this benefits myself as well. And I'm going to make more capital and, more return on my investment. When I say investment, I mean the resources and time that I'm putting into these protocols. I'll make more bang for my buck being a moral actor and doing it the right way. So because of this, I don't trade my own assets. And I make my profit from my projects in a fully disclosed, always disclosed before we do any kind of launch, and it's never coming from the sale of the native tokens, because that's another thing, right? When you're getting paid in your own native token, everybody is going to watch that wallet, and the first time any of those tokens get dumped, people are going to see it as a lack of confidence from the developers in the protocol, and the market's going to react to that. So there's pragmatic reasons why I don't do it, and there's also moral reasons why I don't do it. And for this reason, I don't hold large volumes of my own tokens. I hold a little bit of all of them for various reasons. For example, the pre-sale reason I talked about, or just here and there when you're a developer of a protocol, you'll come to own a few of your tokens here and there. But I make my profit in ways that are disclosed before we launch, and I stick to that, and I assure my partners and developers stick to that. And we're very happy with what we've been able to earn on our end. And I think the community has been happy to see that we're fair and we're not gouging them as far as what we're taking, or we've been very fair. And I think everybody realizes that. And I think that has a lot to do with the success of Drip. People realized how we launched Drip as a true community project. Now, there's a lot of other projects out there where they're taking huge dev fees, and as soon as they make a mistake, or as soon as attention starts dying down, or they have that big pump and dump, now all of a sudden they want to say it's a community project, right? Drip has been a community project from day one, and we can say that confidently because we're not taking some major dev fee on it. We're taking no dev fee on it, and it's really been a massive community effort. which is something that I feel that people appreciate. Now, it says, would you be expanding to another network? Right? So, yes and no.
Oh, bridging.
I have no interest in
Pulse chain.
forking or cloning Drip, for example, or any of my other tokens, and relaunching a version of them on another network. That could bring on some new investors, but what it's going to do more than anything is spread out your liquidity and cause more opportunities for arbitrage traders and other third parties to drain capital without putting any without doing any kind of positive action for the system. Essentially, it gives a foothold for rent seekers, and we never want to do that. Also, when you spread liquidity thin, you transactions stability for Drip is important. And of course, like all DeFi projects, it's going to be volatile relative to every single one of our competitors, right? So there's that. How I would like to you could call it expand, but how I would like to get exposure is, I think, the better word, to other networks is through developing a bridge of our own that allows people to spend, Solana and to spend these other main network tokens or coins on our protocol, on our network. And this is something that we have the ability to do. I have the, of course, technical expertise and the team to be able to do this. We have the community to be able to build up the collateral needed to do secure bridging. And this is something that I am very, very, very much looking forward to doing, right? My thing is, I don't want to just build another bridge. If I build a bridge, I want it to be innovative. I want it to be better than all the other bridges. And I have ideas to do that, such as building a privacy bridge that allows people to send capital cross-chain without ever exposing to people monitoring that bridge where the capital is coming from, where it's going, how much capital is being sent, where the capital is being received on the other side, what network it's going to. I know how to develop something like this, and it doesn't exist in the space. And this is something that I'm very interested in doing, and that kind of kills multiple birds with one stone, because the bridge itself has its own intrinsic value in the form of having a anonymity set and a privacy element. But also, it's part of the Drip protocol and allows people to onboard from other networks onto our protocols, Drip and Animal Farm. And also, those who contribute to this bridge in the form of collateral can earn yield from it because they're paid to, one, provide collateral, and two, provide a greater anonymity set, because the more individual users and the more capital are providing collateral to the privacy bridge will allow for a greater anonymity set, or a greater you call it a greater amount of anonymity. It's A greater anonymity set is really the way to say it. But some people might not know what I mean when I say that. But it means you can be more anonymous, essentially. Any plans to get drip or pigs on an exchange? Well, a major Chinese exchange did list dogs and pigs. They either used the credit contract or they didn't. I'm not sure. If they did use the credit contract, that means V2 pigs will be tradable on their exchange. If they didn't, then that means a ton of pigs were just taken out of circulation, which is very bullish for V2 pigs. So it's a win-win either way we go there. Now, I have no interest on listing on any centralized exchange unless it's one of the major exchanges, only because that will give us a lot more exposure. I tend to want to exchanges allow you to sidestep the some of the mechanisms of the protocol itself. For example, or I should say, because you're not actually trading the token itself. You're not actually moving the token itself. You're dealing with some derivative contract. So there's positive and negatives to listing on a SEX, which is why I would only be interested in listing on one of the major ones. You know, Binance, KuCoin, Kraken, FCX. FTX. That's about it. And I can say that we've had Coinbase, right, of all people, reach out to us. And Coinbase is interested in us utilizing their Coinbase wallet. And we've been in some negotiations with them. These are some of the negotiations we were in before I had to hyper-focus on Piggy Bank. Where we were using that as a lever to try to get more exposure to the Coinbase
some alpha platform. You know who hit us up, so too, guys? Forex can't hear me.
These things are
hit us up. But,
there's negative and positives, and there's some benefit to it, and we are looking to exploit it in ways that will give us this benefit. But it's something you have to be mindful about. All right, so another question here. Okay, someone's asking about my take on the price of drip. So I don't want to give any kind of price predictions, but I would say that drip right now is in a great place because drip has a max payout that ensures that you can only earn up to 365% of your balance. Now, what this means is if you, which increases your ability to continue to earn on it, but those who have not been active, compounding, referring, doing other positive actions, and have only been draining the system, which there are some fair share of people doing that, we are coming up on that year mark, or we are hitting the year mark. We're passing the year mark. I would have to look at the exact dates when we launched, but we're right there at that year mark. All those people that bought at launch and bought in pre-sale only to stake and then trade on a daily basis will be hitting their max pay. And we are just hitting that mark where that starts to play out and starts to become a reality. Now, we also have some people that because they had very, very large teams, right, they hit the max payout cap, which is 100,000 drip. And some of these people, right, right? There's like 2 or 3 of them are hitting their max payout as well. And these are people that are trading a lot of capital from the system. And every day, when you combine this with the fact that, we're about to update the UI, push team competitions, have partnerships. We have all these other smaller developers building to utilize Drip. We are really prepared to have some major moves in Drip. And you see right now, the whole market. So these markets have cycles. You tend to see the cycles play.
It's his audio problem, everybody.
Out a bit harder in DeFi because they're newer assets or they're a bit less stable. Right? And Drip's correction is largely a correction with the rest of the market, which is amazing because we're paying out 1% compound interest while moving basically with the rest of the market. So that, when you consider what we're paying out in daily compound interest, we're outperforming everything. And now we're starting to hit these max payouts to some of these major whales and early investors, which just means less sell pressure and more opportunities for these partnerships and new developments that we're pushing to have that much of a greater impact on the price. So with the network we've been doing and for everything, the way that it's lining up right now, I've never been more bullish on Drip. And you also mentioned the Drip Garden. The Drip Garden, I should say, was always marketed as a higher risk play on Drip. And this is because you're essentially leveraging your exposure to Drip. So if the price of Drip is doing well, you're going to see this impact leverage in contracts like Drip Garden. So I would say if you are bullish about what is coming up with Drip, then you should be even more so bullish with Drip Garden. But the issue is, what kind of risk profile do you want? Now, I would say the faucet is essentially the lowest risk staking profile. Then probably the Animal Farm Drip BUSD pool, and then probably Drip Garden. And I would say some of this overlays into Piggy Bank as well, but elements such as
Guys, I don't know what's going on with his audio. Oh my. We gotta fix this. Anybody have audio? No. Huh. Not sure what to tell you. Let's see what's going on. Wow, Camcoin. Bro, thank you so much. Show some of your big lightsaber moves with one of your lightsabers behind you while Forex is talking. Bust a move. I second the lightsaber show. Guys, you guys aren't here for me. You're here for Forex. I want to give you Forex, but he's down. He's down for the count. I cannot find him. Let me see. I'll try another channel. Here we go.
Bragging. He wants me to take that to Irwindale Sunday. What? That call.
Nope, that isn't going to be it. Come on, who else is listening to Forex? Let's see. Let me try this channel.
Overlays
There we go.
into piggy bank as well, but elements such as
What? Yeah, it's busted, boys and girls. Yep, I'm looking at Barter Towns. I'm looking at a lot of these other ones that just says, yeah, buffering along. We can't hear Forest. Someone called him Forest. So, yeah, this AMA didn't go. If you're just joining us, today's AMA was supposed to be all about the future. I wish, again, it was more organized. Not everybody has 3 hours on a Friday, Good Friday, to do this. It would be great if it was concise, if there was a marketing team that put all this in and it was, hey, what's up, guys? We want to come here and tell you the 5 things that are happening in the drip community. Here we go. And then it shows like a nice video and then PowerPoint, like da-da-da-da. And if you're interested in hearing the long version from Forex, click the link below and you can hear his live AMA, something like that, so that you have something for everybody. Because not every investor even listens to earnings calls. Like, I'll listen to Apple earnings calls, but I'm weird. I like that stuff. So, I mean, but it's okay. We're still early in this whole journey. And, I mean, who else are you bullish on if not Forex, right? So, ain't nobody going to leave Forex. We can whine and complain all we want. These things probably will be changed in the future because he's a teachable guy. And I think he hears from the community. He doesn't react as fast as we would like because he's got his mind on a million other things. Like, he was researching who creates the Charles Schwab websites. Like, that's the stuff he's focused in on, not like how do we improve communications. If they were to do both, you get a new UI, better communications, all of this. Yeah, drip is a powerful force to be reckoned with. There should be a story about it. It's great to know that they're gathering testimonies so that on the new website, you'll be able to go and be like, wow, this is legit. It's not some fake scam coin. It's not some Ponzi scheme. It's not just an MLM program. Yes, there's elements in the tokenomics that are similar to those things. But at the end of the day, when people play the system and compound, because there's a difference. He keeps using the word earnings. Make sure you guys catch that. He'll talk about how you can increase your earnings. Guys, just because you're earning doesn't mean you're bleeding the system. And Forex doesn't like it when you take money out of the system. So he compels you by giving you a visual that shows, look, I'm earning more. Look how much my balance is. Because it's a psychological thing. When people see their balance, they go, look how much money I have there. But it isn't realized gains. So there's a difference between like earning money in a protocol and then actually depositing and withdrawing it and making it realized so you can go buy your Lambo or whatever, your Chipotle. So anyways, I'm going to keep listening to see if we get Forex Live, just so you know. I am waiting to see if he comes back. If you guys do find something that I'm not finding, let me know. I'm going to check these channels again and see if our man Forex is live. Bot here.
But
yes, here we go. I think
when we launch V2, the way you will be credited V2 is where that capital was when it was paused in V1, which means over 82%, right? It's like 82 or slightly over 82% of all the capital, right, is locked up in LP and will be credited in the piggy bank, locked in the piggy bank, which means it's not in circulation to dump and to cause sell pressure, right? Some other high percentage, right? Another 10-15% is in the Pigpen, which has a time locking mechanic, which is relatively short, but it is in there to prevent any kind of panic situation happening, panic selling there. But still, it's even if there was, it's a very small amount. It's about 10% of over 10-15% of overall capital, and the people in the Pigpen, especially the whales in the Pigpen, are people that are long-term members of this community and people that recognize the value of this platform and have a long-term perspective on it. That's why they're in the Pigpen. So the vast majority of those people are in there to stay. And as soon as we go live, we will be taking the millions of dollars which have accumulated through the collateral rehypothecation while we've been paused.
Millions!
Plus what was accumulated before we paused, which I hadn't been putting to work yet because we wanted to get through that initial cycle of, getting the people out that were just in it for the short-term play. Put it in there. In the Pigpen. So we're going to be utilizing millions of dollars into this Pigpen to help incentivize people to remain in there. And then there is this small portion, right? Something like 5% of the supply that will be claimable in people's wallets. And in this case, right, we're launching the piggy bank in a way where those who get in when we unpause and we go live on V2,
yes,
are able to get in essentially at the ground floor.
Oh, ground floor.
With a 20% bonus for the first 48 hours.
Just like Rev.
And this is going to act like a vacuum up those few pigs that are in circulation by heavily incentivizing them to get into the piggy bank. And also heavily incentivize users that were not part of the initial piggy bank, but learned about us over the past month or two. So there really are not a lot of pigs, like less than 5%, that will actually be in circulation available to sell when the farm goes live. And the way that we're setting up this unpaused launch event, it is in a way that functionally treats all existing investors as if they were in one big pre-sale. And now anybody that gets in at launch is essentially getting a chance at the ground floor. Right?
But I've
With
waited for
an additional bonus as well.
I've waited
in the
for
case
over
of the
a
piggy
month.
bank.
Why are
So
they getting rewarded? I was in before
we are
everyone
in
else.
a great position to offset
Grammy
that
River.
small couple percentage that may cause sell pressure, and really just get this thing, kickstart off. With a bang.
This party started on
And
a
I'm
Friday
going to be
night.
spending the next week doing a ton of marketing, a ton of interviews, a ton of AMAs.
Yeah.
We're going to get, DeFi calendar and these various platforms that do, paid ads. We're going to get them to add our dates on there. So people that use these services are getting exposure to us.
Oh, yeah.
And, a lot of people think marketing and promoting is, getting an ad on, shitcoins.com.
Oh.
Yes, those kind of ads do help a little bit. But really, I like to take the advertising approach and the marketing approach that a Tesla, right? And these newer age companies that really understand how to leverage social media and how to leverage the attractiveness of leadership, essentially. You don't see a ton of, Tesla ads on TV, for example. But Tesla is the fastest growing car company in the world. And why is that? It's because they provide a great product and they do a ton of guerrilla marketing, right? And this is what we have mostly focused on: community-based, guerrilla marketing, and using myself essentially as a type of platform. You know, we are not Tesla, and I am not Elon, of course, but we look at what works, and in this new market, their strategy is working better than any of the older traditional models. And this is what I try my best to focus our strategies on, right? So Drip itself as a product has mechanisms that highly incentivize the users of the product to be talking about it, to be spreading how cool it is, and, you know, to be promoting a platform that I can then come out, do an interview, speak in front of 2,000 people. I mean, just 2 days ago, there was a situation where there was a protocol that had a vulnerability, right? 4 months ago, I spotted this vulnerability, and I let everybody in our community know about it.
Does anyone know what he's talking about? I wonder what this is.
Now, when that vulnerability was exploited, it was the perfect opportunity. You know, everybody was asking me, hey, come explain what happened. Like, it happened just like you said it would. Come explain what happened. So now there's this huge crowd because of this event that happened. And now people are asking me to come explain it. And now what ends up happening is I'm talking in front of 2,000 live people in a Telegram group, where the Telegram group doesn't even have 2,000 members. 3 YouTubers are streaming it. And
3 YouTubers.
I turned it into an opportunity to promote our protocols.
That's me.
And this is the kind of smart marketing and promotion that we are focused on.
This is what he's talking about.
Because this is how you
Look at this, guys.
You get the most bang for your buck.
Do you not think Forex knows about this?
Not
12K views. 12K.
Buying ads on shitcoin.com where
Look at
ads
that.
no one's going to click.
Go look at anyone else's YouTube channel. Look at their view count. There
still is some utility to ads. So, you know, we have bought ads in the past. We will continue to.
Look at that. That's huge.
There are other forms of marketing and promotion that are more powerful and more important, and you get more bang for your buck. This is where my focus is, and this is what we will continue to improve upon and continue to exploit more than anything. But we will, like always, and well, and I can say that the scratch ticket protocol, which we're working on, we're working on it with 2 other developing teams, and these 2 other development teams both have full-time marketers. So this will be our first chance to have a full-time marketer on our team.
Listen to this.
On our team, promoting our protocols.
Things are changing. It worked. Woo!
And I believe it's going to be extremely positive and provide a
guys. That's it. That
essentially
is awesome.
a roadmap for us to continue with this and potentially bring on a full-time marketer for all of.
Do you hear this crap? This is the stuff I've been suggesting for freaking months.
With bringing on people who speak for the protocol, and why I'm so guarded about something like that is, because essentially you're lending your credibility to a mouthpiece, and it's very important that you are very careful about who you give this power to.
You're not. Right?
Say I give my Twitter over to someone who's
not
a quote social media expert.
You know, Tesla has a PR team.
All it takes is them to make one tweet saying, "Hey, we're giving some surprise giveaway. Send in ETH," and you know the 100th person to send in ETH gets $1 million. Whatever, right?
That's what we celebrate.
Completely ruin everything. So
steps in the right direction.
Of course, people are always asking, "Why don't you get? Why don't you hire a PR team? Why don't you do all of these things?" And the answer is because these making these changes often do more harm than good.
If they're done poorly, yes.
It is something that I'm open to.
What?
It's just, it's a process. And the first steps of this process will be working with two major development teams that we're partnered with to do the Scratch Ticket Protocol, who both have their own full-time marketers who will be working for us as well through the partnership.
As long as they're good.
Potentially onboarding them for our other protocols as well. And of course, the Scratch Ticket Protocol is utilizing our existing tokens. So having them as full-time marketers for this protocol is having full-time marketers for our other protocols as well.
The Drip Discord channel.
And then this person,
Animal.
you can tell they want to go with the negative angle, right? Because they asked me about self pressure and
it's gonna be great,
essentially saying that I've had poor communication, right? And first of all, I've made multiple announcements every week, which look at what other development teams are doing. Look at the kind of communications these other developers are having.
See how he's
with their
talking
community,
about communications?
Right? They're
it's awesome.
I don't know if this person hasn't been in DeFi or hasn't been in crypto for any period of time. We are more open and we are more interactive with our community, and we have more communication and engagement with our community than basically any other major protocol out there.
Not true. EMP Money, they meet with their team every day. Literally the lead team meets with them every day. EMP.money.
We are going to be increasing our communication.
Yes!
And
woo!
This could be two things. This could be someone that just isn't familiar with DeFi at all. Or it could be someone that was used to our previous, the previous way we went about communication, which is every day on a daily basis, constantly in there, to making a couple announcements a week. But if this person has been around my projects for long enough, they would know that we always go into this phase when we're in the final leg of development, where I take a step back from making constant public statements. And I'm very mindful about the public statements I make, because when you're very early on in development, you're still trying to work out exactly what you're going to do. You still have tons of time for change and to say something and then maybe make a change on it in the future, or, whatever the case would be. You can be very flexible. And once you've finished with the development, which was on Thursday, which was on yesterday, which you might have noticed, I've done one interview and 3 AMAs in 3 different project groups in these 3 days, and made daily announcements and have been active in engagement in the chat. This is because when 100% of the development is finished, then you know exactly what you can say and what you cannot say, because the work is finished, right? You can speak with confidence. You have a deadline. You know exactly all of the mechanisms of your system, and you can speak with confidence. When you're in the final stretch of development,
okay,
you're not in this flexible phase.
He's going to keep going on about when you're busy developing, you can't do communications. That's fair. We don't want you to... You should focus in on development, Forex. That's what you're great at. But as this protocol has grown, you now have growing pains. And you have to build teams. And part of that is a communications team, because it's an investment product. And that means you have thousands of investors with thousands of dollars. Especially when you have their money locked for over a month, you do have to communicate. You can't just go, well, I was away developing, so deal with it. But whatever, you guys know that. I mean, these are not debatable. If you're on a different side of this, you haven't ran a business. So, but whatever. Guys, this is all awesome. So I'm not looking in the past, what's happened. Let's look ahead and go, everything he's saying, that means he's heard, and he's adjusting, and he's changing his approach, and we should celebrate that. And in addition to all that we got all these brand new scratch tickets, and Animal Farm's going to launch, and he's going to do marketing. He's going to hire marketing. Like, there's a lot of great things in store. So I don't understand why you're not buying Drip, why you're not I mean, I can't give a financial advice. I would never do that, but I don't know what else to be buying. So, I mean, this right here, drip at 34 bucks. You can see a few nights ago, I was listening to the AMA when he was fighting with Bank Teller, and I just bought more right here. So I'm already in profit from there. But I mean, building your bags right now is to me, it isn't a dumb decision, but not financial advice. Like, this is all from the announcements. Nobody's even listening to this. It's Good Friday. Once news gets out and it's visualized, like, and it's concise and YouTubers cover it and all that, like, more and more people are going to FOMO in my opinion. It's just a matter of time. So, but I don't even care about drip this month or next month. I really don't care. Because I'm not selling drip this month or next month. There's too much. There's too much down the road. So these are like becoming my more stable plays. And you're like, stable? Look at this. Look at this chart. It dropped so far. Yeah, I know, because the guy paused a contract. You had a launch of another protocol. Like, you had a lot of crazy bad stuff happening, which causes this massive drop off. But you can totally see here in the chart, we have found a floor, in my opinion. Your floor is 30 bucks. So, I mean, that's what I'm looking at. But again, not financial advice. Do your own research. If you are looking to join teams, you can join whoever you want. You do need a buddy list. I have mine in my description. Appreciate you guys. That's how you support the channel. Same with Animal Farm. You want to get in there. But really, the only protocol you should be in right now is baked beans. Just kidding. I did get a little in baked beans and a little bit of Lucky Cat. These things do well. Like, look, let's refresh the screen. Look at this. Look, I made 0.11 BNB. What did I get here? I mean, look how rich this is. Just kidding. 0.14. So, I mean, I put a couple BNB in both these suckers. Link in the description. Thank you, guys. I'll go back to the AMA. I love you all.
If, God forbid, they come up again, so that we do not have to pause the full protocol in order to address an issue with a single mechanism of the ecosystem. And we can do this by essentially setting up quarantines around each individual mechanism that allows for this kind of adjustments to be made on the fly, right? Within limits, right? Because you don't want to give too much centralized power, but you want to be able to address issues if they come up. And implementing these into the future, in both the V2 versions of Pigpen and Piggy Bank, and also every future development we do from here on. And, I take full responsibility for having to pause these contracts, but please just have some perspective on the situation, because when these things happen, you have to look at the severity, the cost that was paid, the history of the developer, what reasonable expectations you have of the developer that they could have avoided this, how this developer makes improvements in the future to ensure that it never happens again, what precautions they took in the first place, so when something did happen, they were able to address it, in this case, without losing any investor capital. And their history as a developer in other protocols. It's just a consistent thing, right? Which in our case, it's not. In our case, we have a superior track record to just about any other development team, and we're pumping out development like no other development team. So when other devs have a bump in the road, they get wiped out. They get liquidated. We see it over and over and over again, and we always do the due diligence to ensure that never happens, which is why that didn't happen. It never has happened. But can we always improve? Yes. Have we made major improvements? Yes. And we will continue to improve in the future, right? So that's my
Yep.
answer to that.
That's that.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Someone's asking about a partnership with a specific project, and I just
Look at
all
guys.
partnerships. We're open to all partnerships. I'm not gonna say a project's name right now because
Boom.
I don't know much about this project, so I don't want to give it any attention really.
It's called
Okay, I've answered this question.
the Drip Farm coin. The Drip Farm coin coming never to coinmarketcap.com near you.
Okay, answered.
Stop. Here we go. Okay, lucky
Okay,
dog.
someone's saying about just something interesting that we could do once a year, like maybe some sort of price adjustment once a year or bonus once a year, as a type of maybe on the birthday of the project or something like that. Yeah, I can give some thought to it.
What? Write it. Do
but-
a YouTube video on that. Just kidding.
If we did something like that, it wouldn't be in the piggy bank with pigs. It would be something that we make known before the protocol ever launches. This way, the initial investors know that that we will be doing this thing once a year. It's not something that we would just spring on existing investors.
They're
So
talking
it's
about
a cool
drip.
idea.
He
but,
thought it.
it would
They're
have to
talking
be
about
something
Animal
new,
Farm.
and we would have to make this very clear.
It's
before we
about
ever
drip
did it.
being 1 year old this month. They wanted there to be a special event around that.
Will we
Whatever.
be merging
He
piggy
missed-
bank stakes into one stake after unlock? No. The way it works is you will be credited in piggy bank based on the LP you deposited versus the LP you withdrew. This way, we are not arbitrarily determining who gets what, who gets left out, whether they were a botter or not. And this is because we don't want to have that kind of centralized decision making in the protocol. So the fairest way to do this is by looking at what each user deposited as far as LPs, what they withdrew from the system, subtracting what they withdrew from what they deposited, and then crediting them that with the V2 piggy bank. And this takes care of the initial botters and the initial traders in itself, because those are essentially the only people who withdrew more than they deposited, which means they will not get credited in V2. So that takes care of itself in a fair mechanism without any kind of arbitrary picking and choosing about who gets blacklisted or whatever the case may be. Now, we then take the LP that you deposited minus the LP you withdrew and simulate your buy in the order that you bought it in. So if you were the 10th person that bought, you'd be the 10th person that gets credited in this simulated buy. And this determines the distribution of piglets that everybody will get in the new piggy bank contract. We will be doing this with a higher starting seed amount. So we did something with piggy bank which is very unique. With, say, Drip Garden and with other protocols that not with Drip Garden. Someone just opened my door and I got distracted. With other protocols similar to Drip Garden and piggy bank that had a similar 2-token mechanism which determines the ROI that you get paid out based on the amount of tokens you hold. The way that they did their launch was by having the developers or insiders deposit to create the starting liquidity, which then gave them a huge advantage because they could then compound in the system, and that initial deposit will always get 50% of the supply, whether they deposit 10 BNB or 1,000 BNB. they'll always get 50% of the supply. And then when you start with 50% of the supply and carry compound interest, it only takes a couple months before the insiders and developer, in this case, it's always the developer in this case, has over 90% of the supply and can drain the protocol. That's why none of these protocols are sustainable. That's one of the reasons. We made an adjustment, and we made a major innovation where we created a function that allows us to essentially trick the contract into thinking we added liquidity. This way it has a price, because you need to add liquidity and set the price. We've created a mechanic that allows us to trick the contract into thinking we add liquidity to set the price based on what we seeded it with this initial liquidity, and then that determines the amount of price impact each buyer will have. Now, we went and looked at how much we would need to seed it with to get a distribution which is reasonable given the size of our investor base and the amount of capital that came in. So we are now doing the distribution with this higher seed amount, which will ensure a more fair distribution among all of the users. And the initial bought-er and the initial, few people that bought with scripts that also had in their scripts to only be draining the contract will now not be credited in the new protocol, which means that capital will now be distributed to all the users in the system, which means when you account for the more fair distribution because of the higher seed amount and the capital redistribution from the initial drainers, virtually all users in the system will have more capital. You'll have more in V2 than you did in V1. And then everyone's starting off with kind of an even playing field in the sense where there will be no pending truffles. So you will be credited with your piglets for the deposit. And this means when we kick off live, anybody who deposits fresh capital can do it, or anybody that has a stake or an existing stake can be confident that there isn't somebody holding some ton of truffles that they can then dump on them or dump on the market. We're starting off on essentially a clean slate there, so all users can be confident that they're getting it at the ground floor, and essentially existing users, functionally, it's like they got into a pre-sale, essentially. So, and due to the mechanics where it can only pay out 3% a day, and with the time locks, essentially, it's like a vesting pre-sale. So it's extremely bullish for anybody that wants to put fresh capital in there. And then we're making it that much more bullish by putting a 20% bonus for the first 48 hours. So this is why I was saying the community can really treat this as a major new opportunity for a launch, right? So they can get this as a launch in itself, get a major opportunity to get it into the ground floor. Because there's such a small percentage of tokens that will actually be in the circulation.
Oh my goodness.
And there'll be such a major opportunity for people to get into the.
We need a YouTube channel. Screw Telegram.
I expect us to see some
I'm so sick of Telegram.
Performance at launch. So I feel very, very good about our purpose. Not just
you guys see how stupid this is?
Piggy, but
fix communications.
I feel more confident than ever right now, and more excited about everything we have moving forward.
My gosh.
Okay, I'll look at some more questions. Okay.
Telegram is literally the worst thing.
Okay, so it's asking about V2 dot. There are no V2 dots. So
You can't use Twitter Spaces. That's glitchy too. The
if
best is
your
YouTube.
Dog B with D or dog B.
Have a drip YouTube. Oh, frick. Okay, I'm done with this. Here we go. We're going to close down this chat. Lose 320 people because we're not using the best forms of communication. Guys, this isn't a junior high project. Like, let's be professional. Seriously. Drip YouTube channel. Make sure you like and subscribe. I'm going live on the Drip YouTube channel. Then you can do a thing with Bartertown, do a Zoom call, block your face, whatever. But we gotta fix this crap. I feel so embarrassed. Imagine inviting like your rich uncle to check out Drip, and he's like, "Well, you have to download Telegram." He's like, "I don't use Telegram." Okay. Well, you have to, and then I want this to be a billion TVL. We got to fix this, but hopeful. It is what it is. So yeah, I'm going to close this down. I can't listen to that anymore. And unless you guys find a different feed, I'm going to check multiple feeds, but I'm pretty sure it's still happening.
Dogs, you're all set.
Yeah, it's a Telegram issue. It's fixed now.
Okay, good. Telegram, it's fixed.
Okay, people asking, they're worried because they didn't compound truffles while they were waiting, all this stuff.
Telegram.
It's gonna have no impact on you. We're not since piggy bank was only running for like 2.5-3 days. First of all, there's no real major implications to just resetting the accumulated truffles amount, and also or what's been compounded, because you can only compound once a day, so it's really only at max 2 events.
Oh my gosh. Let's clean it up, folks. It takes 10 seconds to start a Drip YouTube channel that only Forex has access
really
to.
Struggling with this feed. It's nothing this end. Everything's working. It's obviously just Telegram.
All right, guys. There you go. We didn't even get to scratch off tickets. By the time we get to scratch off tickets, it'll be Easter Sunday. So it is what it is. You guys need to be outside with your families. It's Friday. Go to church. Do something. But I'm just gonna, I don't want to put up with this. And the pace of this AMA is not as expected. It wasn't like the other night where it was just quick, boom, zoom, zoom. So I'll listen and hopefully get this summarized, maybe do a video on it. But I haven't heard anything really crazy new except, he's open to marketing. He's probably going to partner with marketing team that has shown success with some other projects. And he talked a little bit about how the rewards work for your referrals through truffles. So look, if you're not getting into the piggy bank, it's going to suck. Look, it took a price dip now. I'm just kidding. It like went down for 2 seconds. That'd be hilarious. So, it's a lot of babbling, a lot of just, not concise thoughts. Elon, when he speaks, has to be concise because they have a limited amount of time on an earnings call. I guess in DeFi, you get away with just speaking for hours and hours and hours. So again, I'm putting pressure because this team clearly has been listening to this channel, and clearly the things and thoughts of my background through marketing, whatever, are getting communicated. So that would just be my suggestion. It's time. If you want to go live on the YouTube channel. You won't get bot hacked. The Telegram gets botted all the time. And then you invite everybody to your YouTube channel. It gets views, subscriber count. Let the YouTube algorithm, which is the second most powerful algorithm in the world, work for you. So when people type in DeFi and all this, all of a sudden they get the Drip channel. And then you guys can post on your Drip channel by hiring some marketing people the best Drip videos that you guys like. And you pick your favorite YouTube videos and put it on the Drip YouTube channel. So little things like that will clean it up. We didn't get to scratch off tickets. You can watch my video. It's called Bank Teller and Forex Fighting Live. That's where he talks about it, which has 12,000 views. That's literally like, that's huge. And I like that Forex saw that, how big that was. But Forex, I would say, continue your work, continue to multiply yourself through other individuals, delegate things you don't want to do, and go from there. Why Forex doesn't show his face? Same reason maybe the founder of Bitcoin didn't show his face. He wanted the attention to be on the actual protocol and not himself. Not everybody. I mean, Greg, you asked the question. Maybe you wouldn't want to show your face. A lot of people don't. They just don't want to deal with all that. So, all right, guys. So if you want to join them, you can join Bartertown, I believe, is hosting this live. You can check out his channel. He's an OG. So let me see if I can plug his channel here for him. Yes, actually, I don't know if he's live now. This is his channel here. It seems like the stream ended 37 minutes ago, so I don't know, guys. But I think you don't need to probably tune in too much longer. I think all the information that's been said, it's really about, I have a feeling what's going to happen is the day before April 21st, when the animal farm launches, he'll do another AMA and he'll kind of regurgitate the same information. So right now it's Friday, you're with your family. Go spend it with your loved ones. Do the productive things you want to do on a weekend. Then as we get close to April 21st, which is, let me see. I won't even be here. April 21st is a Thursday. Yeah. So I'm sure Wednesday, April 20th, just go listen to an AMA. I'm sure Forex will be live on his YouTube channel. We'll see. All right. Any comments, questions? Thank you to the couple people that sent a super chat. That was super kind of you guys. You don't ever have to do that. I just am happy to be a part of this community and to know that we've got a couple hundred people still hanging out here. That's awesome. Some people people hate Telegram. Telegram doesn't care because I think they know they're a dying form of communication. Discord would be great because you can create multiple channels in Discord because a lot of people want to talk about different things. And if you have a single channel chat, it's crazy. Thousands of people have access to add comments. Well, in that section, you can only talk about one thing. So, yeah, I have a private Discord, so I can't invite you to that because it's for members only. But I'm saying these protocols, bare minimal, they should have a Discord. Telegram is stupid. We all know that. He's coming back 1 minute. Yeah, but he's coming back to say, I haven't heard anything that would compel me to want to give up the rest of my day. I've got to edit another video. I've got to prepare. I'm traveling. I'd like to take my dog for a walk. Poor guy. He's been waiting here. I've been in Texas last couple days. I got a video coming out, guys, probably tonight or tomorrow about a brand new project that I'm investing in. And you guys know I don't invest in everything. So, yeah, I'm super excited for this project. Some of you guys already know what it is. You know, cat was out of the bag, but I don't care. Who cares about the hype? I'm not doing it to get hype. I'm doing it for my own bag. You don't ever need to follow me. So if you're like, that coin's stupid, or why is he doing that? You don't have to invest. Do your own thing. So yeah, I'll tell you about it in our next video. You stay traveling, man. Must be nice to be rich. I'm not rich. Rich is a relative term. You know what's better than being rich? Being happy. And I've learned you can be happy making 30 grand a year, which I've done, making 60 grand a year, which I've done, making 4 or 5 figures a year, which I've done. Nothing makes you happy except happiness comes from where? From within. And when you do the work on yourself and you learn to love yourself. And even like people leaving comments about Forex, he sounds nasally in all this. I used to be that guy, man, always picking apart someone else, just always wanting to attack someone. And I realized it had nothing to do with them, had everything to do with me. I was the one that needed to get the work done on me. So I know this isn't a counseling session, but that's where kindness comes from. It's when you're like, hey, I know where I am. I'm nothing special. You have a true view of you, which is a humble view of yourself. And then you're able just to love people freely. And yeah, this whole channel, I just want to document my journey in DeFi. I make some dumb mistakes. I make some good wins. So far, it's awesome to see, guys, some of the investments that we're in really do well. Like if you take a look at Piston, it's really done well in the last couple days. It found its floor. Drip is doing well. Piston's up 6.7%. Titano, man, ooh, if this thing bounces, this is juicy right here. This is a huge dip. Seifu, the leader of Seifu, which respect to him, if you're watching, or the Seifu community, he reached out to me to do an interview. And very rarely do leaders of these projects cold call anybody. And he did send me an email. This Seifu project, which I actually have some money in. You can see the logo up here. It's up there for a reason, guys. And I have, oh, you can't see it on the live screen. So I might do an interview with him. I don't know. I just have a lot going on. So I just haven't responded back to him because I'm traveling a lot in the next few weeks. But everything else I'm happy with. Breep is going to jump, in my opinion, too, because of you need 300 of these to be in the Dow, and it's going to skyrocket the price because people just heard today, Forex says, hey, for our Dow members, we've got some really, really incredible projects, blah, blah, blah. As word gets about that, the Breep price will go up. Elephant is down 1% today, so it is doing what it's doing. I don't know if it's been fully fixed. Bank teller will probably look to remarket it, relaunch it. Maybe he'll come and we'll do an AMA with him here. Because, yeah, it'd be great to hear if the patches have been fixed, how you get Trunk back to $1 buckaruno. Yeah, it is what it is. If you don't know, yeah, I'm down 18 G's in that sucker. But I haven't sold a dime in my Elephant. It's early. It's software, guys. Software gets hacks and bugs, and not to say Elephant was hacked or had a bug. I think the code allowed for this flash loan exploit to take place. It was something that was brought up. It was overlooked. It was probably kicked the can down the road. We'll fix that in version 5 or whatever. And it was exploited. It is what it is. But it doesn't mean the software, the ecosystem, the idea of Elephant and Trunk is crap now. No, if anything, it'll become stronger. So that's why I haven't sold anything, is I'm just allowing all the FUD to settle down, find a floor, and then go up. And the reason I can't sell is it's basically a 20%. When you buy and you sell, you lose 20% of your money. So either buy and hold and shut up for a year or whatever. And if you're worrying too much, you probably have way too much more than risk capital at play. All right, life is good. Breathe, enjoy the moments. I don't hear what Forex is saying because you're talking. Then you should go to another channel. Like if you're looking for Forex, don't stay here because I'm not going to go live with Forex anymore because the audio keeps coming in and coming out, and I'm not getting any new delta. It's just I've heard everything he's saying. I've covered everything he's saying. So it is what it is. I'll hear him again, guys. You don't have to listen to Forex today. I'm sure he's going to repeat himself 15 times next week because he said, I'm doing an AMA every week, every day this week. So don't feel like you're missing out, FOMO or anything like that. There's, it is what it is. BT took a blow, that's for sure. A lot of these software developers or protocol developers, they don't take it personally because they come from a world where your first version of software is never perfect. Your first iPhone is never perfect. It is to be built upon. You take a blow, though, when your software has people's money tied to it. And that's the unfortunate thing with DeFi. And that's why, again, you should only ever play with risk capital. Even a guy like Forex, who has an amazing brain, he didn't think of everything, and that's why your money's been locked for over a month, and it took a long time to fix it in piggy bank. So it's fine for Forex to chime in on Bartertown, kick him when he's down. I don't know the relationship, but if Forex wants to capitalize on that, that's up to Forex. And if bank teller wants to come back at Forex and say you didn't help, that says everything about you. But both have probably fair arguments. But I would just prefer to stay out of it, because I'm not in junior high watching two guys fight and me egging them both on. I think of this space as, let's try to move it to be more professional and not get involved in that type of drama, because the big boys, the hedge funds, they're never going to come invest in drama. And so it just, I'm not interested in being a Days of Our Lives analyst. So hopefully these boys, these men, resolve their issue offline. And even though it sure is entertaining when these two talk. But at the end of the day, we wish nothing but the best for your elephant community and your drip community, Animal Farm. It's not about throwing stones. Let he who is perfect cast the first stone, quoting Jesus on this Good Friday. Why not? And if it is your tradition to go to church on Good Friday to remember the death of Christ, I hope that it is a somber and reflective time, and I hope it's a great Easter holiday as we look forward to Sunday. BT, he talking about lottery tickets. Yes, he's talked about that in the past. All right, guys. So I would head over to Bartertown's channel, check him out, and join the live stream if you still want to. For me, I just have other videos I have to edit for the channel that are taking priority. This went way too long today. It is what it is. All right, guys. Thank you for being here. I will see you guys in the next one. I love you all. Goodbye. Goodbye. You don't have to be here now. Just go. Just go.